Hello, everybody. I'm glad you're here today. Today is April 29th, 2025. I'm going to bring you a dream that my daughter had 2 years ago. And we're going to kind of break that down because it came to mind yesterday. It came to mind. I'm actually going to make this a red alert video, mainly because this dream, I think, may have to do with some things on a worldwide level. I think the big power outage in Spain and Portugal and France is a huge deal. I think it's a huge deal worth taking note of and preparing accordingly. If you think that can't happen here, then you're crazy. I don't know what else to say because anything can happen. We are living in an age. Did we not learn that from the pandemic? I mean, I remember thinking, surely not. Surely the whole world's not about to shut down. You know what? The whole world shut down. So I am being warned about empty shelves. I am seeing empty shelves. There are many people on YouTube that are saying, hey, Walmart, Home Depot, those big companies are saying it's gonna start not being very pleasant, okay, for Americans. That is to be seen. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. Uh, do the best you can to maybe buy a little extra as best you can. But no, we've seen it. Know that it can happen. Empty shelves can happen. Now then, I don't know what's going on with Europe and the grid down thing, but I do know that it's tornado season where I live in the panhandle of Texas. We've already been under tornado warnings here in my area. And for that to happen in April, that's a little early. It's not unheard of, but it's a little early for us. So it happens. It happens. It's not unusual. So yeah, so prepare for power outages no matter what. But I mean, if you have something that massive, like what's going on in Europe right now, that's very dangerous because people get crazy. People just get crazy. All right, now then, I want to go to this dream that my daughter had in March, on March 27th, 2023. And if you were, I know I brought it on the channel before, but yesterday she was in worship by herself, and she said, Mother, do you remember that dream I had about the spears that were fighting each other and the lumberjack Satan guy? And I said, yeah. She said, I don't know, but that just came to mind. She said, do you think that has anything to do with the India and Pakistani conflict? And I said, I don't know, maybe. Let's dig a little deeper here. As I dug a little deeper yesterday morning, and I didn't have a lot of time, but something told me to look up a name that's mentioned in that dream. And what I discovered about that name blew my mind. So I'm going to bring it here to the channel and see what you think. Many of you are much more spiritually gifted in interpretation of dreams than I am. And when I say dreams, I mean dreams from God the Father, the only God, Creator God, Father, Son, Spirit. That's who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just some mystical, spiritual BS out here. I'm talking about God. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about how the Holy Spirit leads us to interpret, not just our own humanness. Okay? Although we just do the best we can. I do believe dreams are from God. I do believe elements in the dream represent, metaphorically, other things, just like the parables Jesus taught with. So if I don't smile a lot and laugh in this video a lot, it's because I'm trying to concentrate so hard and remember everything and concentrate. I'm going to read the dream to you. I'm not going to break down the whole dream. I want to concentrate on this one part of the dream that I believe is a puzzle piece that fits in somewhere. There are many parts of this, there are many elements of this dream I do not understand. I don't know what they mean. Please, I welcome you in the comment section below to please just, what do you hear from the Spirit that this means? And is it applicable to what's going on between Pakistan and India right now? Both are nuclear armed countries. So there you go. Do with that as you want to. Okay, here we go. I'll read this dream. I'm reading it as if it's from Taylor's viewpoint. She's my 30-year-old daughter who's an RN. Okay, both of my children live with me, my son and my daughter. They're both adults, both pay rent. We are one big happy community here. All right. March 27th, 2023. From Taylor's perspective, you and I went to a church. It was morning. At first, we went to a children's class, early elementary. There were 3 kids there. I started drawing on the whiteboard a bus. I was making the bus follow a road, like a video game. But then the bus crashed. A young man came in and said he would show us to the right classroom. We walked into a big room, a women's class. All the women had on very conservative clothing, like Mennonite type clothing. In the corner was Shannon, who was a college friend of Taylor's. She was wearing an Asian kimono, blues and pinks, and there were chopsticks in her hair. We sat down and they started singing a song with hand motions, and me, started doing them too. Something wasn't right. Shannon said to me, "You have an evil spirit. You're frowning." And I thought, that's not true. That's not true. I got scared and ran out the door. And there was a woman there, an actress, and a large man in a red plaid shirt, like a lumberjack. I was afraid of him. I ran out and he chased me. He had a red light around him. I started running down the street and it was like running in circles. I looked to my right and 2 spears, no people, were fighting. 2 spears were fighting in midair. The man in the plaid shirt standing over it, he was standing over it, and the spear on the left had a diamond flag on the tip. And the spear on the right said Grimsley, and then it turned into the American flag on the handle. They were bronzed. The tip of the American turned into the globe, the whole earth. There was this feeling that this man was Satan. I said something about Jesus, and that was the end of the dream. Now, I don't know all there is to know about this dream, and I don't really want to break it down completely. I will say that there seems to be an overall sense of an Asian, excuse me, an Asian influence. There seems to be something about lying and liars, that there's lying and untruths going on. Accusations are going on. The bus and the whiteboard, I'm not sure what that means. The children's class versus the ladies' class, I don't know what that means, but that's not really what I want to address here. We can break this down in another video. What I want to talk about now that I learned yesterday, regardless of all the details of this dream, with the spears and the United States spear, it seems to indicate war. I mean, that's what I would think. Fighting is going on. And it has to do with the United States and this other spear. That's what I would say. And on the tip of the spear, this one is like a diamond flag. But both the Indian flag and the Pakistani flag have orange and green in them, which is something that we noted yesterday when she mentioned that. Now, what I did yesterday, because 2 years have gone by since we had this dream, I got to thinking, and the Lord has taught me some things about dreams since then. I thought, what country produces diamonds? I thought maybe the diamonds isn't diamonds on a flag. Maybe the diamonds represents a country that produces diamonds. So I got to looking, and if I'm not mistaken, and I may have, this was the best I could do, and I'd be happy to be corrected, but my discovery was that Russia is a big, if not the largest mining production diamond processing country that there is right now. Now, that's what I read. So, not only in this dream is there an Asian influence, but if the diamonds represent Russia, there is a Russian influence, there is a United States influence, there is a worldwide influence. could the green and orange be representing Pakistan and India and what this conflict and maybe our part in it, or our part that is going to be played in it? I don't know. Time will tell. What always bugged me about this dream is Grimsley, the name Grimsley, because we have friends with that last name, Grimsley, whom we love dearly. And so I kept thinking that the Grimsley represented those friends somehow, but it never made sense. Like, it really did not resonate. These other things I think about overall, they kind of seem to flow and are fluid in the Holy Spirit. Like, in time, all of this will play out and I'll understand it better. But the Grimsley being related to our friends, it felt like that was just a kink in it. It's just like, no, that's not. But I kept thinking, what is it? Who is it? So I got to looking yesterday. Are there any Grimsleys, since we have a new administration now, are there any Grimsleys, people in the new cabinet or in the new administration or in the new, government thing? No, couldn't find anything. Then, lo and behold, I discovered this man named Patrick Grimsley. And as of January 2025, he has been, Senior Executive Service Induction Ceremony at U.S. Transport Command. So this Patrick Grimsley has had a career in the Air Force military, has moved up into cybersecurity, blah, 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 gone up the ladder. This is him. This is him. This guy right here is Patrick Grimsley. Now, I know he's got his personal life and everything, but this is on public. It's not like I have done anything illegal trying to find out who this man is. I'm going to read this to you. This is from U.S. Transcom. It's the United States Transportation Command. That's from this website. Okay, so it's an official website. So Scott Air Force Base starts the article. I guess this is where it takes place. Y'all, I'm ignorant about a lot of this. I'm just going to read it to you. It's not long. U.S. Transportation Command hosted a Senior Executive Service Induction Ceremony January 24th, 2025 for Patrick Grimsley, U.S. Transportation Command's Command Control Communications and Cyber System Executive Director. Cyber System Executive Director. Okay. Grimsley served in the U.S. Air Force from 1998 to 2004 and transitioned to federal civilian service in 2010 after 4 years working in the public sector. Before his current position, Grimsley served as a U.S. Transcom Senior Cybersecurity Advisor focused on key cybersecurity issues. He also represented the U.S. Transcom Commander and Chief Information Officer at various national, Department of Defense, and industry committees and working groups. Okay, that sounds like a lot of power. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. Okay. He looks very mild-mannered, but I think this guy's pretty sharp, and I think he's high up. Grimsley led cybersecurity assessments of information technology systems and software operated on the U.S. Transcom network, including preparing and delivering strategic communications to senior military leaders on cybersecurity and defensive cyber operations. His career includes developing cyber operation goals and objectives, implementing best practices, and deploying tools and solutions to enhance operational effectiveness. Okay, this man knows a lot. That's the end of the article. Okay, that's it. He looks nice. He looks like my... If he was Hispanic, he would look like my next door neighbor, but he's not. He looks like just a nice guy. Somebody I went to college with, that kind of guy, you know? But I think in his brain, he knows a lot. And I think he's in control of a lot. I don't think it's an accident, y'all, that we wrote Grimsley on this sphere. You can see it. And this man's name is Grimsley. I don't know. I can honestly say I don't know. But I find that curious that I just happened to look that up yesterday. So I was like, what does U.S. Transcom, or, what did they do? The U.S. Transportation Command. Okay. Maybe y'all already know this. I don't. I didn't. But here's what they do. The U.S. Transcom, or the U.S. Transportation Command, is a global combatant command responsible for the Department of Defense's air, land, and sea transportation needs. Okay, I'm glad we have that. It focuses on enabling rapid global mobility for deployment, sustainment, and redeployment of military forces and supplies. In essence, it's the military's logistics hub, ensuring the joint force is able to execute its mission worldwide. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the U.S. Transcom's role. There's a global mobility, there's sustainment, deployment, redeployment, coordination, support to other commands. It provides transportation and logistics support to other 10 U.S. combatant commands, the military service, and other defense agencies. Global bulk fuel management. U.S. Transcom is also responsible for the procurement, transportation, and storage of bulk fuel. Well, that was news to me because I don't know anything about that, but I learned about that yesterday, and I learned about this Patrick Grimsley, and I can't help but think, is he one that was connected to this dream the Lord gave my daughter 2 years ago? Grimsley turned into the United States flag with the world globe on top, like there was world conflict. And he's connected to cybersecurity. And I believe that blackout in Europe right now is cyber attack. I don't know if that's connected to this dream or not. It doesn't matter to me. These are all pieces of the puzzle. And I don't think they're accidental. Grimsley, the name means dark meadow. That's what the name means. So Satan rules this world. We know that he is king of this realm by the Lord God's allowance. And he wants to take as many souls to hell with him as possible. And we, as believers in Jesus Christ as the Son of God, we have already won the victory. So we need not fear him. But we need to know of his power, and we need to know that prayer is our weapon against him. I believe the Lord is warning us of world war in this dream. And I don't know if the Lord is warning is a sense of a cyber attack. Possibly. So I don't know if that's informative or not. It's information. I'm just giving you information that this man happens to have the last name of Grimsley, and he's in a very high role as a military leader. And that dream, that spear, had the name Grimsley on it. I didn't know about this man until yesterday morning. And honestly, I didn't know all about the power outage. I'd seen it, but I hadn't really delved into it. And Taylor didn't know about it at all until supper time. So, I believe the Lord brings things to mind that he wants us to revisit. So I'm revisiting this. Tell me what you think. I really do need help. What do you think? Or am I on the right track at all? Are we on the right track in trying to understand this warning dream? Or this confirming dream that war is coming, and it may be rooted very well in these two countries, Pakistan and India. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's worth watching. Time will tell, won't it? And I don't have to be right about my interpretations. I'm very willing to go, I don't know. Things are not perfect now in this realm, in this world, in this flesh. We are, the 1 Corinthians 13 tells us uh, that things are incomplete right now until the perfect comes, which is Jesus. And he makes everything perfect, and we'll know everything then, but we don't now. So I don't have to be right about this. I'll be happy to be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there going, I don't know, y'all. That seems more than a coincidence to me. I just wanted to just say that. All right, I'm going to leave that with you to let it simmer. If you're in a tornado area, stay safe. Crazy weather is coming, I believe. It's going to be that kind of season. Stay safe, America. From the pantry, this is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.